Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to help with the training on the left right here inside Dialogflow, which is what powers all of the artificial intelligence that routes phone calls where it's supposed to go, where they're supposed to go when people call. So we'll just get down to it and pretend you've got a little bit of background. We're going to ignore everything else. The sole purpose is training. So when you log in, you'll pick a store up here on the top left. So in this case, we're going to do operator and whatever the store is. So let's pick one that hasn't had any training yet because it just launched. Let's do operator Mercedes. Okay. And click on training on the left. When you click on the training button, you're going to notice that there's going to be a snippet of the conversations. You can ignore everything that says telephony warm-up. That just means that the initiation of the network was made as soon as the phone call happened, so that quick responses could go back and forth and the customer's language could be understood. So we'll click on this first one right here. I wanted to get my car serviced this week. So we click on it and we're going to notice that the intent was determined to be transfer service. Do we agree? I wanted to get the car serviced this week, transfer it to service. Yes, we do. And we are going to approve that. As you approve them, you're going to notice a little green check mark pop up over here. Skip telephony warm-up. The next one, service department. That's what the folks said when they called. Do we agree with transferring it to service? We sure do. We're going to approve it. So the purpose of approving these and the training is that all of artificial intelligence is statistics. And statistics in the sense that with a regression formula, you're going to figure out the correlation or the confidence factor to the result. So the AI says, if someone says service department, I should transfer to service. Now these are intents that I set up. We're saying that's correct, approve, and that confidence factor goes higher, meaning that every time it performs that action, every time that we approve or modify the work of the AI, it's becoming more and more confident in its decision to do what it does. So here's an interesting one. Is it? So is it right now is going to currently give the location of the dealership, but that's not what I would necessarily want to happen. I would want the default fallback intent to trigger instead. So is it? What does that really mean? So I'm going to ask the person back. The default fallback intent is basically trying to get someone to try again or to clarify. I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand. Would you try again, please? Something like that. Now, when I click on this guy here, you're going to notice that all of the intents that are built out are right here. So if it's something that, we're essentially transferring the call, where are we transferring it? Finance, the operator, parts, sales, service. Did they want to know the location of the dealership or a collision centers? Yes or no? Or did we not understand them and we need a default fallback intent? Now some of these are subsets, and I'm going to show you customer service here because they're going to go kind of in order. Actually, let's do that on the intent side. So is it, we want to do a default, let's just train this real quick, default fallback intent. What's for you? Default fallback intent, what do you mean? And then parts obviously is going to be transfer parts, we agree, and we're going to approve those just like that. So in order for you to understand the intents or what we're trying to get the AI to do, these are all the top level intents that are built out right here. And I'll give you a good example. Sometimes people call and they say customer service. What exactly does that mean? Are you looking for service, parts, sales, or the operator? When you say customer service, we need to get you to be a little bit more clear. So customer service will trigger a question where the AI, if you scroll down, no problem, would you like to speak to someone in sales, service, or parts? Understood, would you like a customer service representative? And then these are options that it could then speak back to the customer. It's going to trigger that question, and then the customer would respond with service, sales, or parts, and then that's when the action is triggered. So if you get something where a customer, you can tell they need to talk to someone, I need to speak to a manager would be another great example. Well, if you need to speak to a manager, do you need to speak one in the service department, parts department, or sales department? So you would take that speak to a manager and make sure that the clarify customer service is the intent that triggers. So we're going to go back to our training model here. And let's do a few more. Service, please. Yep, we agree. You're transferring it to the service department. Now, you'll typically get a lot of quick approvals, but what we're going to do is let's just look for some of the harder ones here real quick. So parts, service, sales department. Let's make sure it's going to the sales department. We're going to approve that. And then let's go to the second page and see if we can find something just a little bit more difficult. We're trying to buy pickup. Okay, so for trying to buy pickup, so who do we think they're trying to talk to? We believe that that would be a sales call because we're trying to buy a pickup. I was trying to buy a pickup is also going to be sales, and no problem is always going to be a default fallback intent. We will improve those as is, and we've got a slightly more difficult one just now approved. Service, please, transfer. So every day there's going to be more and more of these. Every phone call is going to be added as a conversation, and the more of these we can do, the more confident our AI becomes, and the better the customer experience. So that is how you help with the training of the artificial intelligence dealership operators that help to route calls. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.